Fala, minha galera, tudo bem com vocês? Galera, venho aqui agradecer a todos vocês que torcem por mim, que vibram comigo e que me acompanharam na minha trajetória no UFC, né? Foram 11 lutas, 4 performances da noite e me sinto muito realizado de fazer parte dessa organização, né? Agradecer a todo o staff do UFC, a toda a galera que me ajudou, né? Me deu aquele suporte lá, todos educados, me trataram muito bem. Então, e não essas duas derrotas que eu me defini a pessoa que eu sou, né? Esse cara dedicado, focado, determinado, esse cara humilde que eu sempre fui. Então, é hora de pensar novos desafios.
Jailton Almeida has broken his silence following his UFC release with his first public statement. The once promising heavyweight contender was considered a potential title challenger before suffering a devastating knockout loss to Curtis Blades in 2024. He rebounded impressively with first-round finishes against Alexander Romanov and Sergey Spivak, showcasing his finishing ability. However, lackluster decision defeats to Alexander Volkov and Rizvan Kunayev sealed his fate, resulting in his departure from the promotion. Almeida has now shared a video statement on his Instagram account addressing his situation.
Just got out of my emergency jaw surgery, having my breakfast here in the hospital. Basically, I was at the Olympics and the plates and screws that they put in my mouth all started to come loose. One of the little screws came out of my mouth. I had to spit it out and they were super worried about getting it infected. So we had to pull them out right away because essentially it was just this open wound sitting there in my mouth where there's food and bacteria. So it turns out, kids, that if you don't listen to your doctors when they tell you not to do anything for 2 months and you do a bunch of things, the screws and plates will come out of your bone. Don't be a dumbass like me.
Before we continue, if you're finding value in this content, please smash that like button, subscribe to stay updated, and help us expand our reach to fellow MMA enthusiasts. Now let's dive back into the latest developments. Bo Nickal appears to have secured the confrontation he's been actively pursuing. The rising star engaged in a fiery verbal altercation with Colby Covington during the Road to UFC 5 press conference, where heated words were exchanged on stage. The animosity extended to social platforms, with Nickal persistently challenging Covington while the veteran initially seemed uninterested in the matchup. Recent developments suggest the bout is moving toward confirmation, possibly for the upcoming White House card. Nickal posted on X with strong hints that the fight is officially set, stating his respect for Covington as a competitor who never retreats from challenges, calling it the true American spirit, and tagging key figures including UFC brass and political figures. Share your fight predictions in the comments section below. Jake Paul has required a second jaw operation after sustaining a fractured jaw during his December bout against Anthony Joshua. Paul's mandible was broken in multiple locations, leading to his initial December 20th surgery, where surgeons implanted 2 titanium plates on both sides. A follow-up procedure became necessary when the hardware began loosening and shifting. Paul attributes the complication to his failure to properly allow healing time over the previous 2 months.
The biggest change in Hamza as like a more mature, it was during the fight week with the fight with Robert Whittaker. That was when everybody was like, oh, he's not aggressive anymore. He's wearing glasses. He's too calm. Maybe he's not hungry anymore. Maybe he doesn't want it anymore. Maybe he lost the aggression. You know, when people was asking me, my answer was simple because I was already noticed this since maybe, let's say, 1.5, 2 years before that, slowly. But that specific year was when everything just switched because his son born 1 year before, and right before that fight, his son needed to do a surgery. You know, and he said that in the interview, no, I have to go to Sweden because my son gonna have a surgery there. And I knew that everything was okay with him, but the people that didn't follow that was even worried, you know, and they was asking me, and I was saying, before he had this animal inside of him that controls him. Now he's mature enough to still have that monster inside him, but he can control that. He doesn't need to keep unleashing 24/7.
Perfect.
Now he knows exactly when is the moment to unleash this animal. And you guys gonna see, and then he go fight Robert Whittaker, and everybody saw what happened.
Throughout 2024, Hamza Chimaev displayed a remarkable personal evolution, showcasing increased professionalism, composure, and maturity that caught fans' attention. Observers wondered about the catalyst behind this transformation, with many theorizing it stemmed from personal battles and overcoming a challenging depressive episode. Chimaev's long-term coach Alan Nascimento, better known as Fin Fu, has provided additional context into this change. In a conversation with MMA Today, Nascimento disclosed that becoming a father was the pivotal moment that fundamentally altered Hamza's perspective and approach. Bear DiGio from the Jackson podcast has released training footage showing Hamza Chimaev engaging in striking sessions alongside Khalil Rountree Jr.
So 205, is that something that I know you were calling out Pereira. He ignored that, right? There was never any response?
No, he never responds, but so we'll see if anyone else. I won't just become a double champ. And then I can go back to my weight class or stay there or go out more up. Try. I know that guys were trying to go out from the UFC like undefeated this and that. I don't care. Just want to make some stuff.
How old are you now, Hamza?
31.
31. So you got lots of time.
During his podcast appearance, Chimaev discussed the realistic possibility of competing at light heavyweight and even heavyweight divisions as part of his ambition to capture titles across 3 weight classes.
Hunter, what were you going to say?
Go ahead.
I want to say 1 week ago we were at PI and we go to extreme sparrings and this guy submit Sean Strickland.
Oh!
Hey!
How did you submit him?
Yeah.
We were sparring with Sean Strickland. He asked me and Baisangur. Baisangur went with him 3 rounds and he made him tired. And then he says, come on, you. And I went, take him down and submit him. Rear naked choke.
What do you think?
Dana White got the...
In the same podcast episode, a 21-year-old teammate of Chimaev's claimed he successfully submitted Sean Strickland via rear naked choke during Strickland's preparation camp for his upcoming Anthony Hernandez fight.
Were you excited to see the new bonuses announced with the Paramount Plus deal, or?
No, bonuses. No one's getting paid more. Well, what's the new bonus? 150? The UFC is, as far as the pay scale, there is no, you compare it to any other sporting event, the UFC is the most up. If you compare it to like pay versus athletes versus what they're making, there is no argument there. It's not fair. It's predatory. There is no argument there. Now we're a bunch of idiots who take our clothes off and go fight for shorten our lives for this. So like, do we deserve better? I don't know. There's no argument here. The UFC is not it's predatory. Well, I would just like it to match any other sporting event. Any other sporting event on how much they're making, we should get paid. Like what I'm saying is like, let's say the NFL they give 70% of the profits to the, I'm making this up, profits to the players. The UFC should do the same, but it won't because it's predatory. But again, we take our clothes off and get hit in the head like assholes, so maybe we deserve this. You say no to a fight, well, guess what? They're going to go find some guy in some sand pit. They'll do it for 5-5. That's why you're slowly going to see the American roster die because it's like outsourced by like people that, what are they signing guys? 10-10? I mean, how much is rent in Vegas? Like 2,000, 1,600, 1,400. So it's like once you pay your managers, your taxes, like how the f are you supposed to live on that? Like, well, you could fight 4 times a year. Okay, so you go 3-1. Like no, you'll make more money at Walmart, dude, if you're being assigned. But that's what the UFC wants, man. It's all just like corporate predatory. That's how it goes, dude. Why do I want to go compete with a Brazilian where he could go make money and live pretty nicely to where you can't do that in America?
Dana White and Zuffa Boxing have gained significant leverage over Matchroom Boxing's Eddie Hearn in their developing promotional war. White and Hearn have established one of combat sport's most intense promotional rivalries since Zuffa Boxing's official launch earlier this year. Both camps have exchanged verbal attacks for weeks following White's boxing venture debut. Zuffa Boxing has aggressively pursued elite talent additions to their roster since launching their inaugural event. The promotion reportedly engaged in negotiations with undisputed heavyweight king Oleksandr Usyk, though the current status remains unclear. Hearn has guided numerous elite boxers throughout his promotional journey, including Katie Taylor, Conor Benn, and Anthony Joshua, plus world champions like Canelo Alvarez and Vasyl Lomachenko. As the rivalry intensifies between White, Hearn, and their respective companies, Zuffa Boxing achieved a massive victory by acquiring one of Hearn's premier fighters. Friday's press release confirmed Zuffa Boxing signed Conor Benn, who holds a 24-1 record, to an undisclosed deal. Benn's move to Zuffa Boxing represents a major market shift after spending most of his career under Hearn's promotional banner. The signing follows Benn's career-defining victory over Chris Eubank Jr. in their November rematch. Following the announcement, former promoter Eddie Hearn expressed devastation over Benn's departure to Dana White's organization. Speaking with IFL TV, Hearn admitted fault in misjudging Benn's character and feeling the years invested were wasted, stating he provided unwavering support when others doubted, lending hundreds of thousands of pounds, and never expected such betrayal from someone he believed in completely. Sean Strickland's Fight Week antics continue as he delivered another brutally honest interview with Complex before his Saturday clash against Anthony Hernandez. When questioned about increased earnings under the new Paramount UFC agreement, Strickland characteristically provided unfiltered truth. According to the middleweight, fighters aren't earning additional money despite Dana White's claims, launching into criticism of UFC compensation practices as unfair and exploitative. Strickland emphasized that fighters could earn more working at Walmart than competing in the UFC. Here are today's top 3 internet memes. The bronze medal goes to a post from Oknekdarayan. Silver medal recognition goes to the meme shared by MMA On Point. The gold medal winner comes from a post by Sharp As It Gets. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for your daily MMA content. See you back here tomorrow.